broadcast from down in the area where they land and such. Today I'm at the top of the hill. So somewhere way down there is where the hang gliders end up landing. So like I said, I hope you're having a blessed day today, you know, and I purposely put those words in there. I put just freaking chill. And let me explain what I mean by that. You know, I don't mean to be rude or anything like that, but, you know, and I don't apologize for it either, because so often we spend our life in worry, fear, anxiety. And I'll tell you, a majority of the time, those things don't happen. But what will guarantee those things to happen in your life is for you to put more focus into them. You know how you get that spark of that nervousness or that spark of that worry? Sorry about the shakiness here. The spark of that nervousness or that spark of that worry. You know, like right now, just for instance, I'm sorry to interrupt, but just look at that sunset there. Look at that sky. You know, the colors here in Georgia driving around today are just beautiful. But we get that spark of that nervousness, that anxiety, that worry, that what if, right? What if this happens? Or what if that happens? You know, and here's what happens from there is we put our focus into that. We put more energy into that happening. And so people with finances, you know, that are struggling right now, or people in business, or people trying to turn their business around, or people trying to find time to enjoy all their efforts from all the work that they do. And they get that fear of that what if. And it's when we get that fear, that what if, that worry, that anxiety, all of a sudden we start going further and further and further into it. We start doing more and more and more. And all we're really doing in undertaking actions as such is we're just feeding that fear, we're feeding that worry, we're feeding that anxiety in our life. And so one of the things, and I don't want you to have to live that way, and one of the so many tools I have I work with my clients on, but for tonight I want to give you something you can do, is change your focus. Find something like that to put your focus on for a little while. You know, find your gratitudes or your blessings and get into those. Step into them for a little while. Put them on. Get out a pad of paper and a freaking pen and write the things that you're grateful for right now in your life, exactly where you are with what you have. Because we always have those things. And the difference between people who experience their worries, who experience their anxieties, and people who don't, is the people who don't still have those. They still have that spark of those, but they take a different action to move out of that. I had a really, really good friend of mine who used to tell me all the time, Joseph, you're not responsible for that first thought that pops up in your head. But you are responsible for buying it a condominium with a built-in pool and tennis courts and all the other amenities. You know, that first thought that comes into our head, that's going to be based on our conditioning from our past. It'll be based on our patterns and our paradigms. It'll be based on our past results. But if we grab hold of that for dear life, we're going to ride it right down into living life mediocre. We're going to drive it right down into living on scraps in what's available for you in your life. When we understand, when we have the awareness of that thought and we do something different, gratitude and blessings will always, always, always trump anxiety thoughts, worry thoughts, fear thoughts. And the more energy, first off, the amount of time it takes you to be aware of it, but the more energy you can put into those gratitudes, the more energy you can put into your blessings, the quicker that will shift around in your life. And I'm telling you, you could be headed down a path a certain way based on worry and anxiety and shift it and experience a totally different outcome. You know, but here's the thing. I put a challenge out there yesterday for people to go with 3 simple statements in their life and just repeat them over and over and over throughout the day. Did you do that yesterday? Because if you don't take an action into it, all you're getting at the very most, all you're getting is mediocre excitement for a moment in your life and with these live at 555s. It's when you take this information that I'm giving you freely. It's not tied to anything. Oh, there we go, ultralight. It's not tied to anything. You don't have to give me something to get this. If you take that information, and I'll tell you, that's the one reason why I don't coach people for free. That's the one reason, because if people are not invested into something, they don't get much out of it. They don't see much value out of it. And maybe you're like that at these live at 555s. Maybe you watch them just to see what kind of goofy shit I'll do throughout the day, you know, throughout the talk and things like that. I don't know. But I do know there's those of you out there that take action on that stuff. And those are the people overcoming their fears. Those are the people that are overcoming their worries and their anxieties, and they're living life the more by the design that they have for that life. They're experiencing the things that they truly want to experience in this lifetime. Remember, I've said before that some people live for 90 years. Other people live 1 year 90 times, and they just continue to repeat those same patterns over and over and over that are no longer serving them. Those 1 year 90 time people never move toward realization of their visions, their goals, even fully enjoying their blessings and their gratitudes. My whole purpose and my vision of my life is I want to help inspire, motivate, and lead millions of people to living better life. And I pour into myself to continue learning, to continue growing, to continue expanding. So I have more and more and more that I have to share to help people do that. You're getting this information. If you're not using it, ask yourself why. Why is it? Are you that embedded into your patterns, paradigms, conditioning? And if you are, I don't mean any judgment on that. Nothing's good and nothing's bad. Nothing's right, nothing's wrong. Nothing's fair, nothing's unfair. But if you're experiencing that, reach out to me. Let me help you. Let me help you make a change that could truly change the rest of your life. And even if there's a little hair of possibility for you when I say that, reach out to me. It won't cost you anything other than 45 minutes of your time. But I do promise you, you'll gain from that phone call. You'll gain from that conversation with me. And all you have to do is send me a messenger saying you're interested. Now, as far as the Abundance Mindset Masterclass that we finished on Thursday, there's still 3 days after today that you can go in and listen to that in its entirety. I put a link in the text here for the live that you can click on there, go in there, and you can even download the workbook still, and you can listen to all 4 days. It's probably about 3 hours or 3.5 hours, 3 hours, 15 minutes worth of material, but you can gain the entire masterclass. Now, this is probably the final masterclass I'm going to do at no cost for exactly why I told you. People don't see value unless they're invested into something. So it's probably the last one I'll do at no cost, and you can still get that for 3 more days here, but you got to act. Again, nothing will ever, ever, ever change in your life. You can make decision after decision after decision after decision all day, every day for the rest of your life. And you'll still experience life the way you're experiencing life until you take in action. I'm here out of love to help remind you of that, to take that action. I'm here out of love to help you because I know you're bigger than your procrastination. You're bigger than your fears. You're bigger than your anxieties. You're bigger than your worries. And each time somebody goes within and comes out and lives in their passion, the entire world becomes a better place for it. So I'm going to close my yap now and just give you a few seconds of getting to see the sunset here. So have a blessed evening, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good night.